In this video, we will look at the technique of rotator cuff repair augmented with long head of biceps tendon. This technique has been extremely useful in cases in which there is a high chance of repair failure. Rotator cuff surgery could be challenging. Despite the advance in technical expertise, better implants, and improved instrumentation, the outcome of the repair could be compromised by increased age, poor tissue quality, retraction of torn tendon, reduced healing capacity, which can lead to re-tears, suture cutouts, and arthritis. At one end of the spectrum, we have cuff tears, which can be repaired easily, and on the other extreme end, we have tears that are absolutely irreparable despite all our efforts. The real challenge comes in this group, which we call it as a repair at risk. In this group of patients, we will be able to perform a cuff repair, but there is always a risk of failure due to age, moderate to poor tissue quality, retracted tear that needs a lot of mobilization, and patients who present very late for the procedure. The irreparable tears are offered a different set of solutions like tendon transfers and superior capsule reconstruction in elderly without arthritis, and a reverse shoulder replacement in those who have extreme weakness and also painful arthritis. Coming to this procedure of superior capsular reconstruction, we reconstruct a tissue between the glenoid bone edge and the footprint using tissues like fascia lata or using a dermal allograft. The principles by which the superior capsular reconstruction works is that it provides a static restraint on top of the shoulder, and it produces a humeral depression during deltoid action, thus re-establishing the function for shoulder elevation. However, surgeons have been using the biceps tendon, which is already attached to the superior labrum and glenoid, and which is also locally available, which can be attached to the footprint of the rotator cuff. Thereby, it can act like a superior capsular tissue. Many early studies have shown encouraging results when biceps tendon was used for a superior capsular reconstruction, which is called as a biceps SCR. When it comes to repairing this risky rotator cuff tears, which we call the repairs at risk, the strategies one should follow. The repair should be done without any undue tension. Rather than trying to do a double row repair with tension, one should follow the principles of single row repair with sutures made in a ripstop configuration. And also one can also use sutures called rescue sutures, which are load sharing sutures, which can provide support and act as a fail-safe mechanism for the primary suture anchor repair sutures. And finally, one can include the biceps tendon to augment the repair of the rotator cuff. To perform a biceps augmented rotator cuff repair, the essential prerequisites are that the tendon quality should be reasonably good and the rotator cuff should be able to be brought to the footprint of the rotator cuff. The advantages of this technique include that we are adding collagen to the repair. Even though it is a static restraint, the biceps tendon attached in this fashion has a load sharing effect and can protect the repair by its superior capsule-like function. Even when the cuff repair fails, the biceps SCR can act as a fail-safe mechanism. This is the illustrative case. As you can see, is an old gentleman who presented with 2 months old symptoms of pain and weakness. The drop-arm test was negative, even though the external rotation was weak. The MRI showed a reduced volume of muscle, a certain amount of retraction, but the fatty degeneration was minimal and it is less than a grade 3 Goutallier. So this tear was taken up for repair with precautions. First and foremost, here we anticipated that we can use only a single row repair, so we decided to use this ripstop configuration where there is a horizontal mattress sutures anteroposteriorly, and then the mediolateral sutures come above this mattress sutures. The mattress sutures act like a ripstop and prevents the cutout of this mediolateral sutures through the rotator cuff tissue. Second thing which we did was to use rescue sutures. As you can see here, just medial to the placement of the primary suture anchor sutures, we have taken a fiber tape through the tendon tissue, and which was brought over to the lateral side of the greater tuberosity, and lateral row anchor was used to fix the fiber tape to the greater tuberosity. The steps of performing the rescue sutures are: the first, have to place the fiber tape onto the tendon tissue exiting from below above, and then the primary suture anchor is placed, and the three limbs of sutures are taken out through the tendon. Medial row anchor is repaired using a modified Mason-Allen type suture. The fiber tapes are brought over to the lateral aspect of the greater tuberosity, and the lateral row anchor was used to fix the fiber tape sutures laterally. Arthroscopic video here, one can see the inside of the shoulder, and you can also see the rent in the supraspinatus above, and you can see minimal fraying. And the patient had a grade 1 tear of subscapularis. It is very important to repair the subscapularis in these patients, as the subscapularis repair can re-establish the anterior-posterior force couples and can very much help in regaining the shoulder function. So here you can see the subscapular is being repaired, and this is a subacromial arthroscopy. You can see the tear is a centimeter medial to the footprint, so a considerable amount of tissue is left on the footprint itself, so it may be difficult to do a double row repair. As a first step, the acromion is cleared and the footprint is also exposed. All the remaining tendon tissue in the footprint is cleared. The cuff is grasped and checked for mobility, and we were able to identify the pattern of the tear. And in the anterior areas, you can see the biceps tendon. The footprint is prepared by smooth and careful burring. The tuberosity is smoothened, and the anterior debridement is carried out to expose the biceps tendon. A lasso suture passer is used to pass a nitinol loop through the biceps tendon, which is taken out through the posterior portal, and a fiber wire suture is placed. This acts like a controlling suture for the tendon. On the anterior part of the footprint, a double loaded suture anchor is inserted. A bioabsorbable 5 mm anchor is being introduced into the medial aspect of the footprint of rotator cuff anteriorly, and a second anchor, once again a double loaded anchor, is being inserted slightly posterior to the footprint. And now, using a suture passing device, fiber wire sutures are passed through the biceps tendon, and using a suture passing device, once again a nitinol loop is passed. The same suture which has been passed through the tendon is taken once again into the biceps tendon to have a double pass through the tendon, which ensures that the suture cutout chances are very minimal. Then the biceps tendon is pulled into the subacromial space to regain the length, and once you are sure that the tendon can be mobilized easily to the footprint, the tendon is divided, and then using the sutures which have been passed through the tendon, at 30 degrees of arm abduction, the biceps tendon is attached to the medial aspect of the footprint using one of the sutures from the anterior suture anchor. The sutures are cut, and once again on top of it the rotator cuff has to be repaired. Once again one has to carefully assess the mobility. Now we are able to see that it is coming from posterior to anterior. We were able to identify it was something like an anterior L-shaped tear which has retracted and become a U-shape. So we went on to do a side-to-side repair. Once again you can see the suture passing device passing side-to-side sutures. So both the sutures have been passed on the anterior limb and the posterior limb, and knot is made to make sure the side to side repair is being done. And as the repair is being done, one can easily see the mobilization of the cuff towards the footprint. The side-to-side sutures are repaired and cut. And from the first anchor, a simple suture is passed to the anterior cuff and is fixed to the anterior aspect of the rotator cuff footprint, just above the area where the biceps tendon was attached. The sutures are cut. And this is the rescue sutures, the fiber tapes being applied medially. Both ends have been passed from below to above, and the fiber tape sutures are passed and retrieved and parked in the anterior cannula. And then these are the sutures for the Mason Allen repair from the medial row second anchor. Using a suture passing device from the posterior anchor, nitinol loops are passed inside, and the purple suture is taken out using the shuttle relay. And a penetrating device comes from the posterior aspect and takes the second purple suture through the cuff tissue. And both the purple sutures are taken out. And a mattress suture, an anteroposterior mattress suture, is performed using the purple sutures. And on top of it, the blue striped sutures are used to do a mediolateral repair. So this is a suture which is performed in a ripstop fashion. And to fix the fiber tape sutures, the load sharing rescue sutures, the lateral aspect of the greater tuberosity is cleared to identify the point for suture anchor insertion. And this is a punch for lateral anchor. The fiber tape sutures are loaded into the anchor and it is inserted using a lateral row. So we have one fixation at the medial aspect of the footprint and one on the lateral aspect of the greater tuberosity. So this configuration is both a ripstop and a load sharing rescue suture. Finally, the acromion is just smoothened to ensure a smooth movement under the acromion. And this is a view from below showing the biceps tendon as well as the cuff being repaired to the footprint of the rotator cuff. One has to be careful when repairing a cuff if the patient shows a chronic pseudoparalysis, massive tears with multiple tendon involvement, fatty infiltration of more than grade 3 Goutellier, and reduced acromio-humeral interval, and severe mediolateral retraction of cuff and adhesions around the cuff tissue. To conclude, it is important to identify the repairs which are at a high risk of failure. In our experience, the biceps augmented cuff repair had come out handy in many situations and is a useful technique to consider if you are facing a situation where the cuff repair has a high chance of failure. Along with proper mobilizations, load sharing and ripstop suture configurations, the biceps augmented cuff repair could be a very useful tool in the armamentarium of cuff surgery. Thank you very much for your attention.